The welcome series is undoubtedly the most important email flow that you'll ever build. It's the first email that a new subscriber gets from you, and it's that email that determines whether someone will become a first-time buyer or just completely disappear off the face of the earth. Get it right, and it'll produce more revenue than literally any flow that you'll ever build. But most of the brands that I audit completely get it wrong, and it's costing them thousands of dollars every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a high-converting welcome series that uses the same strategies that my team and I have used to help generate over $100 million across 150 plus e-commerce brands in the last 5 years alone. Let's get into it. All right, so your welcome series is going to be your most profitable email flow, hands down. I've audited hundreds of accounts at this point, and I can tell you firsthand that the welcome series is usually the top and best performer. And the brands winning in 2026 have systems that build trust fast and convert the moment someone actually clicks your ad. So it starts with your pop-up and your welcome flow. And so you want to dial those in. And if you are able to dial those in, then you have the funnel that turns website visitors into buyers within a minimum of 7 days. And so you can see this funnel right here. We have the meta ads or Google ads or whatever, traffic source that you're running to your website. Then you have your landing page. Once people get to the landing page, that's when we're going to be showing our pop-up. And then once they enter the pop-up, they're going to be getting into your welcome flow. And that's what actually prints cash over time, right? So in the next slide, I'm going to go over the welcome flow essentials, right? So there's a few different essentials that every brand needs in order to make sure that they have a successful welcome series. First things first, we have a single opt-in versus a double opt-in, which by the way, by default, Klaviyo has a double opt-in where basically if someone enters your email list, it's going to send like a confirm your subscription email. We definitely don't want that because that's going to increase the friction that people have when they join your email list. And a lot of people won't even see that email. And so what we want to do is make sure that's toggled into single opt-in. And the way that you'll do that is you actually go into Klaviyo under your list settings, go to list and segments, go to settings, and then go to consent. And then you go to single opt-in. Make sure, again, it's on single opt-in and not a double opt-in. Again, what this means is that when someone opts into your email list, they're going to be receiving your welcome email right away, the first email, without having to receive a separate email that has a button to confirm their subscription. So the first email will fire immediately after signing up, and we want to have 3 to 6 emails within that flow, ideally towards the higher end, so 6 to 7 emails, and we want to space the emails 1 to 2 days apart. We also want to include some plain text emails, so I recommend having a plain text email as a second email and also towards the end, which I'll get into in just a few minutes. And then we also want to mention the welcome offer literally in every single email, because we have to remember that people signed up to receive that offer, and we want to continually remind them without necessarily like hard selling or overselling it, but we want to subtly remind them of the welcome offer that they signed up for. And lastly, we want to add a final urgency email, which again, I recommend that to be a plain text. So this is an account that we just started managing a couple of months ago, and you can see that their welcome series here is definitely their top performer. You can see that they have 13,000 deliveries in the last 30 days, and it's generated over $66,000 just in a span of 30 days from one flow. And you can even see what's even more impressive is that for each recipient that receives this flow, they're generating $5.01 per recipient, right? And so again, the welcome series is obviously the top performer for this brand, but across many of the brands that we manage, the welcome series usually is going to be the highest performing flow. And so that's why it's so important that we dial this in perfectly from day one. So welcome email number 1 is where we want to deliver the promise. We have to remember that this is when someone just first opts in. And so we want to send them an email that is very compelling. So the purpose of this is to deliver the sign up incentive immediately and set the tone for the brand relationship. The timing is going to be immediate. So we want to send this email immediately. The biggest mistake that I see brands make here is that they wait to send this email 2 or 3 days after someone opts in. That's a big mistake because we want to capitalize on people's attention as soon as they opt in. So the first step is to present the discount clearly at the top. So it's the first thing that they see. We want to have a quick, engaging intro to who you are and what you stand for. And then number 3, we want to encourage them to shop now using their incentive, whether it be, a discount code or free shipping or whatever the case is. So you can see in this example here, this is an email from Hydrant, a welcome email that says, hey there, ready to get more from your water and for $5 off. And then we have the code with a nice CTA. Question here is, why is Hydrant the best way to hydrate every day? So a little bit more diving into the education. We have a few different flavors that we're mentioning here, and then we have a buy now CTA. In this example, we have a nice to meet you. So we're kind of just like greeting them and welcoming them in. Here's what to expect from our emails. And then we have the 20% off with the code. And then what are you waiting for? Shop now. And then a little, a few benefits relating back to the brand and what they offer here. These are a few great examples of the first email of the welcome series that you guys can model off of. Now, welcome email number 2 is where it gets exciting, and it kind of gets into the founder check-in and the plain text style email. The whole purpose of the second email is to build a personal connection through a low pressure human message from the founder. And so the timing of this email is going to be 12 hours after email number 1. So we're still sending this email in a very, very short time frame. And again, the whole idea of that is to capture the attention of the user while it's still relevant. So the first step is to write like you're speaking to one person, not an email list. So we want to kind of give off the impression that, you know, the founder or the co-founder or someone from the team has literally just jumped into Gmail, hit the compose button, and started writing an email to a friend. We want to include a short brand backstory or mission in this email, and we want to casually mention the welcome offer again. So the welcome offer is not going to be a huge primary focus of the email, just like we did in welcome email number 1, but we're going to subtly mention it in the body of the email itself. So you can see in this example, this is an email we did from the Mello team. Hey Siv, we know that you just joined our email list a few hours ago, but we wanted to send a quick personal note to say thanks. We're the team behind Mello Sleep, la da 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 da. That's why we created the temperature control comforter. Most people start with their temperature control comforter since it solves the biggest sleep problems we hear about. And then look at this subtle mention. Oh, and if you're planning to check out the site, don't forget your code WELCOME for 10% off. And then we have a CTA, a soft CTA that says continue browsing, and then a sign off from the team. And again, I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but plain text emails don't necessarily need to come from the founder. If you're not comfortable saying your name or using someone's name, then you can just simply put from, you know, the brand name's team. That's more than enough. The whole idea is that we want to come off as very, very human and personable in this email. And so the plain text email is able to accomplish exactly that. And then we have a PS section that says, got questions about what might work best for you? Just hit reply. We read every email. Ideally, you know, if you can put the founder's name, that would be the most ideal situation. But if not, at least sign off as the brand's team. By the way, if you want the extended version of this document, then go ahead and click the link down below and grab my 126-page email revenue playbook. It's completely free and has a full breakdown of all the flows that we typically build, a visual flow chart with all the correct time delays between each of the emails, and tons of high converting design examples that we've actually used ourselves for some of the brands that we work with. It's literally everything that I've learned personally over the last 10 years of doing this and working with hundreds of e-commerce brands. Way more detail than I could fit into one single video. Click the link down below to grab it. Now, the third email is going to be the brand story and urgency. The whole purpose of this third email is to create urgency around the expiring discount while deepening emotional connection with your brand. The timing of this is going to be 1 day after email number 2. So just so you know, so far we send email number 1 immediately. We wait 12 hours. We send the plain text email from the founder. We wait another 24 hours, and now we're sending email number 3. And in email number 3 is where we want to clearly communicate that their welcome offer is expiring soon. We want to share why the brand was started and the problem you set out to solve. And we want to encourage subscribers to support the brand's mission with their first purchase, right? And here's a couple different really great examples. This is from a brand called Sillygrams, and you can see at the top here, they have a header that says get to know us. There's a picture of the 2 co-founders here, and there's a kind of a backstory about how they started this brand back in COVID, during the COVID-19 pandemic, how they developed their products in literally their basement. So it kind of gives a little bit of a backstory and helps to build a little bit of trust and give some insight into who the owners are. And then we are mentioning the discount code again. So ready to get creative, enjoy 10% off your first order, use code WELCOME10, redeem offer. And for the people that want to just explore the site and maybe they just want to explore bestsellers, we want to have the shop bestseller section right here. So we have different collections that we're featuring in the email. And this is from a brand called Zip Top. Again, it says get to know us more. So, you know, we have a picture of the founder here. The story of us started back in 2019 when Rebecca launched the first Zip Top product. So a little bit of a backstory. We have a CTA. And then another cool thing too is like if your brand is featured in the press, like if you guys have won any awards or been featured in any like significant well-known magazines, you can even feature that in the email, and that helps to build even more social proof and trust. And then again, another CTA. So CTAs are also really, really important across all the emails that you guys do. Email number 4 is where we get into the social proof and the exact pain points of your customers. So the purpose of this is to address objections and build enough trust through customer reviews. And so the timing is going to be 1 day after email number 3. 3 touch points here is number 1, we want to identify the top 2 or 3 challenges that your customers face. Number 2 is that we want to select reviews that speak directly to how your product resolved those problems specifically. And number 3, we want to include a total review count, maybe some star ratings, or again, some press mentions. And so this is an example email from a brand. You can see here they have a really cool hero image at the top, and it says the reviews are in. See what's being said about our best-selling hemp products. You can see 3 really cool reviews. I like that they're in like these individual boxes, and even features a product that someone is actually reviewing. We have 5 stars right here, and we have a very detailed review right here from someone named Sherry. So high quality product, gummies are perfect, another 5 stars. Love these mints. And then we have Melissa right here that's writing that review. See what all the talk is about. Use the code WELCOME10 during checkout. And then we have a shop now button. And again, we're featuring them in New York Times, Leafly, Weed Maps, Triathlete, just to show that, this is a legitimate company and that other really, really well-known companies are featuring them in their own press. Secondly, we have this email from a brand called Mellow. And the interesting thing about this email that we created was that we wanted to give a different angle where we're saying, we believe in our own products, right? So we're so confident you'll love what we created. We want to give you an even better opportunity to try it. So we have 20% off with the code TRY NOW with the CTA right here. It's a great hero image at the top. And similarly to this email, we have individual reviews within their own block with 5 stars. We have the quotations right here with 5 stars, a couple different reviews. My husband runs hot, I run cold. This comforter somehow works for both of us. And then we have no more stuffing comforters into covers. The built-in design stays perfect and I can wash the whole thing easily. Why we're so confident, right? So really just plays into the whole confidence aspect and like really standing behind the product and the brand. 1,000 plus 5-star reviews, certified by these premium materials, 30 night trial, lifetime warranty, and then another CTA right here. By the way, this isn't the full email. I just kind of cut it just to make sure that, this looks visually okay, but yeah, it goes a little bit longer and goes into the footer after that. Now, welcome email number 5 is going to be the bestseller spotlight. So the whole purpose of this email is to simplify the decision by spotlighting your number 1 product. And by the way, if you just have one product, if you're a one product SKU store, then you can just focus on that product and kind of dive in even deeper. But if you have multiple items on your site, you probably have like a hero product that most people buy into when they first discover the brand. And so we want to focus and spotlight that one product, and we want to send that one day after the previous email. So again, we want to feature your best-selling product as a hero with a strong visual. We want to explain why it's a bestseller and highlight the key benefits or problem it solves. And we want to use testimonials that reinforce why people love this product. And so if you scroll down here, we have the customer favorites, 10% off code. Again, we're featuring the welcome discount here. We're featuring why these are bestsellers, our most popular work across any design style, modern, traditional, transitional, what makes them special. Again, some reviews, what collectors are saying, etc. So the whole purpose of this welcome email number 5 is to really hone in and highlight on what the bestseller is and why it's a bestseller and what people are saying about the bestseller. And again, because it's the bestseller, more people are going to be buying into it, and you're going to have a higher likelihood of conversions because we're featuring that bestseller that most people are buying anyways. Now, last but not least, we have welcome email number 6, which is our final urgency push. We want to give a final push with an upgraded discount and a hard deadline. Again, this is going to be sent one day after email number 5. And so we want to present a stronger offer because at this point, you have to remember, they've already received like 5 emails. It's been almost a week and they still haven't converted yet. So we need to try giving them a slightly higher discount in hopes that they might convert. We're giving a little bit of margin away, but we're hoping that they do convert. And if they become a one-time customer, they're a lot likely to purchase more products. And so it's okay to give away a slight discount, a slightly higher discount for the sake of potentially getting them to purchase multiple products and becoming a high lifetime value customer. So we want to have a hard 24-hour deadline with no extensions, and we want to link them directly to the store with the discount auto applied. So this is an example that we did for Sun Home Saunas. Hey Siv, I'll keep this short. You joined the Sun Home Saunas community recently and have been hoping you'd take that first step toward maximizing your longevity and recovery. Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe you wanted to think it over. I get it. Investing in a premium infrared sauna is a big decision, but here's the thing. Your Sweat 200 welcome offer expires in 24 hours. So we're instilling urgency here. And then, yeah, we're kind of leaning into FOMO a little bit, saying, I'd hate for you to look back 6 months from now, wishing you had jumped in when you had the chance. Our award-winning saunas have already helped thousands of people sleep better, recover faster, ease pain, feel more energized every day. So again, FOMO, and also tying into social proof and, showing that we've helped thousands of people already. And we have a CTA here, and then we say, don't let this slip away, talk soon. And then we're signing off as the founder, Adam, co-founder of Sun Home Saunas. So because the welcome series is so impactful, any sort of A/B test that you run is obviously going to have a huge impact because of the sheer amount of traffic that's coming into the flow. I want to just kind of go over some high leverage A/B tests that you can run on your welcome series. So one thing I want to kind of preface this with is that every brand is different. And so what worked for one might not work for another. That's why testing is non-negotiable. A couple different things that you can test is the welcome offer format and the offer itself, such as, dollar off discounts versus percentage-based discounts versus free shipping versus maybe a free gift with order, maybe even, a mystery style discount, that sort of thing. different offers can work different for different brands. So it's important to test that out. Subject lines and preview text within the welcome series, send delay between emails, text-based versus graphic-based emails, which products you feature within the emails, and also linking to a product page versus a collection. These are all, various elements that you can test that over time can make a pretty significant impact, especially if you have a lot of traffic that's getting into the welcome series. So if you want me and my team to build you a high converting welcome series along with the other 6 core flows, click the first link in the description to book a free call with me. We've already done this for over 150 plus e-commerce brands and generated over $100 million in email marketing revenue. And don't just take my word for it. At this point, we have over 30 plus client video testimonials on our website that you can check out, which a few of them are listed right here. Again, there's a link in the description to book in a call directly with me. I would love to learn a little bit more about you and your brand, discover what you're currently doing with your email channel, and see if there's anything that I can do to help or just point you in the right direction on how to increase your email marketing revenue. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.